Pineapple Ventus, Pineapple Ventus Noir, Crete Aventis. You think it stands up to this guy? Let's find out. What's up, guys? Welcome back again. Today I have another fragrance review for you guys, and we're going to be speaking about Pineapple Ventus. Well, actually two Pineapple Ventus fragrances. Pineapple Ventus Original and Pineapple Ventus Noir. Somewhat of a versus as well to this guy, Crete Aventis. Let's go back to Crete Aventis. Crete Aventis, created in 2010, one of the most popular fragrances within the fragrance community. Publicly or by people around you, not at all. But in the fragrance community, the most popular fragrance. To me, very close and dear to my heart. I have about five bottles of these, I think, maybe 5 or 6 bottles of Crete Aventis. You know what? Check back on my videos. I did a full review on this, and you'll see how many bottles I have. And I bought another one after that. I love it. It's my favorite fragrance. What do you get from this? Right off the cap, straight up, you smell just fresh, very natural pineapple, woody, very crisp and sharp fragrance that smells like a manly man, like a man with a lot of confidence, and it's just wonderful. And it's my most complimented fragrance out of my whole collection. I own over 100 bottles, and I will never be it without this fragrance. That said, these guys came in, or this company created these two fragrances. They also have another one called Pineapple Ventus Intense. I have not tested that. Now, before I do this review, I want to give a shout out to my boy, Jonathan B. Swift. My boy. That's my boy right there. You know who I'm talking about. I want to thank you, man, for hooking me up with these two samples so I can get a take of this. And I'm sure you knew I was going to do this because you know I love Aventus. And I want to thank you for these samples. Starting off with this one here. Pineapple Ventus, the original, the first release. This fragrance here has some pineapple in the open. This heavy pineapple smell in the open. It's a very fresh and crisp pineapple. Not too much of an alcohol opening, which I like. It's somewhat natural. There's a little bit of patchouli, just a little bit, but it's mostly pineapple. It's very fresh. Problem with this one. Also, look at the inside here. There are some instructions here that tell you if you use this sample here and spray 3 times in one spot, you get 1 full sprayer of the original bottle, the actual presentation. So I did 9 sprays of this, and I've done this for 3 days. And as a matter of fact, it was my scent of the day. And I get a ghost out fragrance from this. I don't smell it at all, or I don't know. I just don't get any performance from this. And I don't think it smells like Aventus. And the idea behind this fragrance was to create a fragrance that mimics the smell of Aventus. Obviously, you see the pineapple. Obviously, the smell is somewhat similar. About 70% close to Aventus. I can see the attempt of trying to smell like Aventus. What do you get from this in performance? You get about 6 hours or so. Projection is about an hour or so. Nice little sillage for about 2 to 3 hours. People, people do smell it. I mostly tested around my kids and my wife, and she does like it. She does like the smell. but it's not quite there. It's not Aventus, if that was the attempt. Retail for this, if you get a full bottle, it's a 3.3 ounce, and that is about, I think it's about 80 something dollars. Retail for Aventus is about $440 for a 4 ounce of this one here. Now this one you may not find because it has been, the bottle has been redesigned to be a little smaller, to a 3.4 ounce, and it's about 440 retail, the same. But you can find this bottle, which just stopped. They stopped making this about a few months ago, the 4 ounce. Don't know why, but maybe the cost of ingredients. But you can get this right now discounted, and it's been discounted for a while. Anywhere between $240 to $275 for a 4 ounce. Again, around $225, $275. Almost $100. 80 something dollars for a 3.3 ounce. Now, what do I say that? It's a clone of another fragrance. It's not an original. And also, there's many clones out there of Crete Aventis and the same content of 3.3 ounce. Anywhere between $15 and $25. There's several clones that do it, I think, a little better than this one for the price. Now, let's move on to the Noir. Noir, on the other hand, I do think this is a pretty close clone to Aventus. This, to me, is about 95%, maybe 90 to 95% close to Crete Aventis. Comparing it to all the bottles that I have, this is pretty close. When they created the original one, I think they weren't satisfied by the feedback, because there was several reviewers that they got free bottles and they reviewed it, they weren't too satisfied. So they came up with the Noir. They tweaked it a little bit. They added a darker element. I don't know what it is, but it does smell pretty similar. It could be birch, it could be something else. And they succeeded. This is closer. This is much more, much more of a closer copy to Crete Aventis. And this one performs way better. I apply this on skin, and I can definitely smell it on skin. Smell it on my skin. Way beyond, 12 hours. I can smell it the next day on my hand. I'm not saying it projects or it comes out of my skin within that duration. Performance is fair. You get about 6+ hours. Projection is much better. Maybe about 2-3 hours. Or fair projection. Sillage is good. My wife approves of this smelling close to Aventus. Yes, it does smell similar to Aventus. I can say that for sure. And this, to me, I haven't smelled other newer clones, but to me, as of now, I smelled Club de Nuit Intense Men. I had Insurrection Pure 2. I had Glen Perry Unpredictable Adventure, which is another clone to Aventus. But this is the closest I smelled to Aventus. And I actually gave away one. If you look back at my channel, I gave away a close clone copy that's pretty close to Aventus. That's about 90%. I gave that in away since the performance is a little weak. And that's a real nice one. It's pretty cheap. It was under $30. I don't remember what I paid. But this, for the price of this, is about 80 something. I don't know. I don't know if I would pay that much. But for this one here, the Noir, if it was around $50, I think that would be a fair price for a clone or a copy of Aventus. Now, why do I keep saying that? Close, copy, dope. Because it is. It is what it is. It's a copy, so it's not an original. So I just don't think if it's an original and if it's such... If you are an Aventus fan or if you have Aventus, I think this is this should be, if it's an alternative, this should be cheaper or half the price, I guess, because I mean You can get a decant of Aventus right now, maybe a 2 ounce with monster projection and longevity. They're mostly pretty good for around $100. But yeah, I think it's fair. If you don't want to go for a split of Aventus, if you don't trust the splitters and all that, and you want to get a full presentation, and the thing with splits too, you might get a sample and you'll get a split, and it might not smell like the sample of Aventus. And from what I've heard, this is consistent. They only make one fragrance. I don't think they change the ingredients. And I don't work for them, but I would think they don't change the ingredients. If you want to get a sample, I encourage you to do that before you buy. I'm not going to tell you to blind buy. But I'm guessing if you don't want to do a split, you can get this, and you're probably going to get the same smell. And I'm telling you, it's pretty close. But for the price, you can try other stuff that's pretty close. And get a sample and test that out and compare it to the real deal. So, yeah. Pretty close clone. I will give this, if I'm going to rate this in a scale of 1 to 5, cloning Aventus alone compared to all the bottles that have Aventus, I give this a 2.5. Not so close. This I will give a close 4 to 4.5. Close to Ventus. Yeah, it's pretty close. Performance-wise, no. But again, you know, you're comparing it to a fragrance that has been, you know, mastered and has all these ingredients in it that give it the longevity and all that. But yeah, this is not bad. So guys, you know, take that with a grain of salt. My personal take on this fragrance. Maybe in the future, if I get Pineapple Vintage Intense, a sample, I'll check it out, see if there's, if I can get a small split of it. Now that I have this, I don't have to buy that. But I'm interested in the Pineapple Vintage Intense, and I'll do my review on that one later on. But yeah, thumbs up for their effort, and Noir, they did a good job on that. So that was my take for the company of Pineapple Vintage versus, I guess, versus Aventus. And guys, thanks for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, if you like my channel, if you like my feedback, what I provided to you guys, you know, turn on that bell, support the channel, and stay tuned for more. And actually, I want to tag my boy, Mr. Luigi, at the end of this. And I want to tag him because I know that Jonathan B. Swift, our boy that hooked us up with this. Love you, man. You're a cool dude. And now that I can say many things I can say, actually. And he hooked them up with 2 samples of this. And I'm tagging you. Do a review on this and let me know what you think about this, Luigi. And will be interesting. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and peace.